Corporate executives often get headshots for certain milestones. It could be you're a new hire, it could be a website redesign, or to submit for RFPs. Sometimes it's just to have a good headshot for LinkedIn or because your look changed. People and organizations that get professional headshots understand their importance. So, what can you do to be sure you get good corporate headshots? Let's take a look. The first step in getting good corporate headshots is to find a good photographer, and this starts with making a list. Start with an online search for around your area to make a list of photographers with good reviews of 4 to 5 stars. Be sure they have a lot of reviews too, not just 1 or 2, and be sure they have reviews on more than just one site, for example on Google, Yelp, and so on. One other thing to consider is distance. If you're going to their studio for a session, determine how far you're willing to go so you can search within that radius. If you're looking for a mobile photographer to come to your office to photograph the team, you'll have to do some inquiring with photographers to see if they provide mobile headshot services. Next, you need to evaluate their portfolio. Any good headshot photographer will have one on their website. Be sure to do so on a desktop monitor or very high resolution laptop, and not just on your smartphone. On a smartphone, it's easy to make almost any picture look good because the screen is so small. You need to see levels of quality. This is important because ultimately the headshots you get will be used on your own website or for other business reasons, and business people, like potential customers or partners, do most of their work on desktops, where they're likely to see your headshots and their level of quality. By now, you've probably arrived at a short list. Next, you'll also want to get on the phone with them to assess their professionalism. This is particularly important since you're likely going to have the photographer engaging with your senior staff and maybe your boss. Here you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Ask them about their process, not just how you ultimately will get the photos, but also about how they set up and what gear they use and why. This way you learn about levels of professionalism while also gauging if they know what they're doing. We should cover a bit more on getting mobile headshots versus you or your team going to a studio. There's a big convenience to having a photographer come to your office. However, there are some advantages to going to the photographer's studio. So, if your team is small enough, you might consider this. At a studio, a photographer might have an arsenal of gear. This isn't the case when a photographer brings a mobile studio to you. They obviously have to optimize what they transport to be efficient with time and transport. So, once you see options at a studio, you might change your mind about the background you want, or the style of lighting, and so on. These are flexibilities you might not have with a mobile headshot session. Still, in most cases, the convenience of having a corporate headshot photographer come to you is a winning strategy. It's easier to get everyone on the schedule since in-office headshots can be as little as 5 minutes of someone's time versus the much more time it takes to drive to a studio. So, the shoot is all set and now you need to consider branding. If you need advice on how to ensure the headshots match any branding elements you want to align with, your headshot photographer should be able to provide guidance. In fact, it might be good to gauge this when you're vetting them. Branding considerations include what to wear. What image are you trying to portray? For example, if it's a financial firm, suits might be the way to go, while a real estate agent may opt for business casual to appear more approachable. Generally, stay away from busy colors or fabrics. So, generally, no bright colors like yellow or orange. Also, try and stay away from plaids and large stripes. The goal is to keep the attention on you, not what you're wearing, unless you're a fashion designer, of course. As for makeup and jewelry, they're fine too, though generally you want to avoid excess in either. A good rule of thumb is don't do more than what you'd do if you were meeting a client. There are some things you can do to make your session go better. Get a good night's sleep so you don't look tired. If you're planning on getting a haircut, don't do it the day before. If you get a bad haircut, you'll at least have the option to let it grow out a few days. Also, drink lots of water the day before and the day of your session so it helps your skin look naturally hydrated. During the session, you'll usually want to try and pull off at least a slight smile, unless you're a dentist and really want to show off your pearlies. Don't be afraid to practice in a mirror the night before. Also, be sure of your posture. Your photographer should be able to help guide you with posing. And for the most part, you'll want to look into the camera as this is the norm for your average corporate headshot. Whether it's for your team or your individual LinkedIn profile, there are clear reasons getting the best corporate headshot is important for your business or career. The quality of the headshot you use impresses upon potential customers the type of quality they might expect from your business. Don't let a poor corporate headshot be the first impression on potential customers. A good professional headshot also demonstrates self-confidence in yourself and for your business. And research has shown self-confidence is a top 5 trait employers look for in a candidate. A professional headshot will help you stand apart, both as a business and individually. I hope this information has been helpful to ensure you get the best corporate headshots for your marketing needs.